Today on the table, I've got an Acer Aspire S3. Now I'm going to be opening this one up purely to replace the battery in it. So it is an older machine, as you can tell by the Windows 8 sticker that's on there. But all we really need to begin with is a Phillips head screwdriver. So if you grab that, I will begin. Now do note that there isn't really any hidden screws on this model. It's fairly upfront with where the screws are. So I'll proceed to remove those. Now with the final screw removed, what you should be attempting to do is lift from the front to flip it over to the back, as it will be connected by a couple of Wi-Fi antennas. So it's best just to flip it over and leave it resting there. So from here I'm just going to start disconnecting the various flex connectors and cables that are over the top of the battery itself. There is also two Phillips head screws holding the battery in. There we go. And the battery is almost free to come out. There's a couple more things to remove still. Now with that connector peeled out of the way, I will finally disconnect the battery. Now it isn't really recommended to use a pair of tweezers for this, so a plastic pry tool would be preferable, or potentially a nail. And now with that, the next thing to note, where are we? There is an audio cable going from the stereo speakers down there, so you will need to disconnect one set of the speakers and fold it. Does also seem to snag up the very top of that battery. So I'm going to remove this tape, and that should enable me to lift the battery out from there. There we go, some tape out of the way, and up and out quite easily. I'm going to be replacing that with just a genuine replacement that I got my hands on. And the reinstall process of this should be relatively simple. Shouldn't really be too many dramas. Now I did find that the actual replacement battery did have a slightly longer power lead on it. So I've plugged that in first, and I'll just coil that out of the way once I get the battery in its position. So I'll put the two Phillips head screws back into the battery itself. So from here I'm just going to let the video play out, but as you can see, I'll go over what connectors need to be connected, and then from there it's simply flipping the back cover back over and putting in the Phillips head screws. So I hope this video has helped you change the battery in your Acer Aspire S3, or possibly even the hard drive, as the steps would be very similar. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.